Hello my friends, Aspen here. I'm out hiking. It's a pretty crappy day, but today I'm out having fun with my Sony FDR X3000, my favorite action camera. And in this video today I just want to test different things with this camera. I'm shooting in XAVCS 1080p. Should produce the best image quality. I highly recommend shooting in XAVC over MP4. The file sizes is bigger, but the quality should be much better. And I'm testing narrow mode now, and I'm talking to the inboard mic. I'm gonna do an audio test today with a Rode Wireless Go 2 attached to the Sony FDR, as long as the weather is okay and it's not starting to rain. So, and I'm shooting in natural color profile. It's been a long time since I tested the Sony FDR because I have the Action 2 and the GoPro Hero 10, but I want to do some tests today because I love this camera. So we're going to do an audio test. I'm going to test narrow mode, which I'm shooting in now, and wide, and we will see what other stuff we can do. I'm soon going to attach my Rode so we can listen to the different audio quality, and using an external mic when it's so windy as today is the best choice, of course, but the inboard mic on this camera is really good, but I don't have a wind protection to it, so I need to buy that. But we're gonna find a nice place to test the camera. So yeah, 1080p 30 frames XAVC Sony FDR X3000. A lot of people love this camera, and I can understand why. It's so good. So how is the narrow mode? The only bad thing about this camera is actually I have no idea how close it is to my face. Hopefully it doesn't look stupid, but we will see. So let's find a nice place and test the camera and attach the Rode. I've seen some tests where people have been using the Rode system, and it seems like the audio is clipping, but I put down the gain on the Rode, so hopefully that will work and the audio will sound good. But we're soon going to switch to the Rode so you can listen. Fingers crossed that it works. We will see. It's been raining a lot the recent days, so it's quite wet in its rain, but that's okay. I don't mind. So yeah, let's attach the Rode and test it and see how it is. Hopefully, fingers crossed that it works. Let's do that now. Yeah guys, so we're now on the Rode Wireless Go 2. Hopefully everything works good and there are some audio. I can't see anything on the display on the Sony FDR, but it should work. Hopefully it works. And we will see if the sound is clipping like many people say. I turned down the gain to -24 just to see if that works, so we don't get too much clipping. But the Rode system is excellent. The Sony FDR is excellent, and hopefully it works with external audio. I put a jack in the Sony FDR, so we will see. I'm shooting in natural color profile just to see how that look. Normally I film in vivid, but today I just want to see how it looks. So the Rode system is pretty versatile. You can use it with many different systems, and that an old camera like the Sony FDR has the possibility to actually attach external mic system with a jack plug is quite extraordinary, I must say, because many newer action cameras don't have a jack insert at all, but the Sony FDR has. Think about this camera, it's 5 years old and still pretty popular camera to choose and to film with. Of course there are some downsides, but that's okay. The camera can only it can shoot up to 4K, but in my tests I see that when you're shooting in 4K and moving, it seems like the compression or something is kind of strange, so I actually prefer shooting in 1080p, and you can upscale it to 4K when you export your files. That's the best thing to do with the Sony. And of course you can shoot in 1080p 60 frames and do some slow-mo with those clips. And you can actually shoot up to 240 frames in 720p with this camera. So it's quite an extraordinary camera, I must say. So this is an audio test with the Rode. And I also tested the inboard mic. It's kind of windy day today, so but I'm between some trees, so should be pretty good here, and I'm using the Rode system. So we of course gonna turn off the Rode and see how the audio quality is. So do you like the Sony FDR? I'm gonna change the setting to the wide lens and see if there are any difference in the video quality, because some people say that you lose some quality when you're picking a wider field of view. So we're gonna see that. So tell me down in the description, what do you think? So let's change to wide. Okay guys, I didn't know that, but you can choose medium, so that's between wide and narrow. Is there a massive difference? I'm holding my Sony FDR with a tripod from Ulanzi MT16. I love that tripod, it's excellent. So it should be a little bit wider. Can you see any difference? And hopefully the audio is good. We of course gonna test the inboard mic. We all know that the inboard mic on the Sony FDR is really good, but not in windy condition, especially if you don't have a wind muff, and I don't have that. So let's switch to wide and see. This is medium with the Rode wireless Go 2 attached to the Sony FDR. Okay guys, this is wide. I'm having the camera at the same distance. I'm using the Rode wireless Go 2, and hopefully the audio is good, and you can see there is much more wider field of view, which is excellent on this small little camera. But and you don't have a screen, so you just have to talk to the camera, and fingers crossed that you're in the frame, but you usually are, because the camera is so wide, and the quality is just excellent on this camera. The optical stabilization on the Sony FDR is pretty good. Of course the digital or EIS stabilization is much better, but in low light the optical stabilization works as good. It doesn't matter what the lighting condition is. So and here we are at the old cabin, as you can see. Crushed, destroyed, looks like a piece of crap. This cabin is from the 1950s, around that. I have no idea who's owning this cabin, but it's pretty old, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of mice and crap here. So yeah, you never know with a cabin like this. Looks like a piece of shit. It does. Nobody is using this cabin. I have no idea if somebody is owning this. I'm not quite sure. But once upon a time this cabin was pretty nice, I guess. But it's terrible to see that people are throwing garbage like this and not cleaning it up. I think I'm gonna check who's owning this cabin. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure. But once upon a time it was a pretty nice place, I'm sure. So yeah guys, so what do you think about the Sony FDR, and is it a smart idea to use an external mic? I think so, especially when there are extreme conditions out, not today. But of course the Sony FDR isn't a camera you can use when it's in extreme conditions because it's not waterproof. And when you use an external mic, the bad thing about this camera, I think it can handle a little bit of splash from water, but not more than that. But when you're using an external mic with a jack, you expose things behind the camera that can be, of course, destroy the camera. But I never use this camera in wet conditions because it's not meant for it. This is an excellent point and shoot camera that are pretty versatile. Can't wait for spring to come, that's for sure. This looks like crap. So I hope the natural color profile works. I'm probably gonna do some tweaking in post just to add some more punch to the image, we will see. And I'm gonna switch now to the internal mic so you can listen to that. And maybe we can shoot a little bit in another field of view, like narrow or medium. But I just wanted to test the audio, internal audio, when the wind condition isn't as bad as it is now. So let's switch to the internal mic and see how it is. Okay guys, we switch now to the internal mic on the Sony FDR. Maybe the best action camera I ever made. And I'm shooting in medium field of view in 1080p XAVCS, which is supposed to be the best video codec or whatever that produces the best image. It should be, because it's pretty clear when you're switching to MP4 on this camera. The file sizes is much smaller. You can shoot actually up to 15 hours on a card like this. This is the 128 gigabyte in 1080p. When you're choosing XAVC, you can only shoot about 5 hours. So it should be a difference. And you can shoot in 4K, like I said, on the Sony FDR, but you have to remember that when you're moving, there's something with the compression. But if you're taking only stills, holding the camera without moving, then the video quality looks really good in 4K. But use 1080p. That's the best thing about this camera, I think. And a lot of big YouTubers are using this camera. Harold and Bold and Bankrupt. So this is the external mic. We're going up a hill here now, and I'm breathing. And the wind is gonna pick up pretty soon, and then we can see how the audio quality is. I can feel some wind now, so we just have to see. It should be some kind of noise reduction on this camera. I'm not quite sure. That's also a negative with the Sony FDR. The menu system is a little bit strange, but the camera is excellent and it always works. Just press record and it's recording. No problem at all. So this is medium field of view. So that's I didn't know that. I know it, but I haven't been using it. I've always been shooting in wide. So now it's windy, as you can hear, and hopefully the audio is good. I'm going to switch again to the road, and we will see if there are massive difference. Of course it should be. Hopefully the audio works. I have no idea. But let's switch to the road and see. Let's do that now. Yeah, my friends, so it's extremely windy here. I'm using the road wireless Go 2 now. Hopefully the audio works. I have no idea, but it's quite windy. And I put the gain down on the road system, so hopefully it doesn't spike or hiss or whatever. But yeah, I'm shooting in medium field of view on the Sony now. I'm gonna switch to narrow so we can see how that looks. And it feels like it's starting to rain. I hope not. It shouldn't be. It was supposed to get some drops, not much, but some. But I'm gonna switch to narrow now, and we're gonna return back home But this is, like I said, an audio test, and with the Sony FDR and the external and internal mic. And I just want to play with the Sony again because it's so good. So let's switch to narrow, and we're gonna see how that looks. Let's do that now. Okay guys, we're back again on narrow. How does it look? Does it look stupid? Is my face all up in all up in the lens? I don't know. We just have to see, and hopefully the audio works. Oh, it's wet. Yeah guys, so we're back again on the wide lens on the Sony FDR. A camera from 2016, which is still relevant in 2022. A lot of people are using this camera still, and a lot of people love it, and I can understand why. Of course there are better cameras out there, and the price is really high on the Sony FDR still, so it's quite a popular camera. So should you upgrade? I don't know. That all depends on what you do with the camera. If you're doing sport and action, yes, you should. Because this is not an action camera. It was marketed as an action camera, but it's not waterproof. You can use it in the housing, but then the point is, yeah, there's no point in using this camera in the housing. You don't have any audio. You have some, but the audio is crap. And it affects the image quality also. But of course you can use it. Then I would rather get the Action 2 or the GoPro Hero 10. For now, I think I will rank my cameras. I have the Action 2, the GoPro Hero 10, the Sony FDR, and the Osmo Action, and the Pocket 2. So I think I'm gonna rank it. I would say that the Action 2 is my favorite camera. That's number 1. Just because I love the design and the magnetic mounting system, and everything from DJI is reliable and it always works. I think the GoPro Hero 10 is the second place. The GoPro Hero 10 is an excellent camera, especially if the lighting condition is good and you want to shoot in high resolutions. Then it's excellent. And then we have the Sony FDR X3000, but it's a kind of different camera in my opinion. It's not an action camera, it's a vlogging camera. And on the 4th place we have the Osmo Action. The old one is still excellent, extremely good camera. And so I think we can divide it between action camera and vlogging camera. For action camera you have the Action 2, number 1, the GoPro Hero 10, number 2, and the Osmo Action, the old one, number 3. And you have the vlogging cameras. I have the Pocket 2 and the Sony FDR. I think as a point and shoot camera, the Sony FDR is my favorite camera of those two, but if it comes to image quality and stabilization, the Pocket 2 is the winner. Neither of them are action camera, but they both are excellent camera. But the Sony FDR is so small and easy to use. Point and shoot, you can just hold it in your hand and film something. People wouldn't notice all. With the Pocket 2, it's excellent, of course. It is, no doubt about it. But it's a mechanical gimbal, so it's not that durable as the Sony FDR, but it's a great camera. My God, it's probably better than the Sony FDR, but it all depends on what you're going to use the camera for. Yeah, so this was supposed to be an audio test, and it's windy as hell here, and I hope the road system works good, and I hope it works at all. But this was an audio test with the Sony FDR, with and without external mic, and I also tested the different field of view in 1080p XAVCS, which I recommend to shoot in because you get the highest bit rate, the best quality image from the Sony FDR. And we just have to see how the video clips are. Hopefully, fingers crossed, everything works good and the image quality looks decent. Yeah,
so we're returning home. So thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoy my videos, and of course I hope you will subscribe to my channel. That means so much to me. I'm getting close to 900 subscribers. My goal is 1,000, but for me this is just a fun little hobby which I hope I can do for many years, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. Look at this view. This is so beautiful. This is Hattlevik, a beautiful, beautiful place. Around 1,100 people are living here. Most single homes, that's the normal thing in Norway. So this is a beautiful area with a lot of boats and marinas, and people love using the boats here. So thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Remember to give me a thumb up, that means a lot to me. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.